All right, it's a spring day, and I want to show you guys my son's project. This is a 1985 Chevy C-10 two-wheel drive, short bed, regular cab. You can hear my dog barking at the motorcycle going by. This belonged to my neighbor who's a member where I preach. It was his father-in-law. He bought it new in '85. And it, here in the mountains, they love the salt on the roads, and it's got a lot of rust in it. It's going to need fenders, inner fenders, rocker panels, and cab corners, and some work on the bed. Inside the bed is good, with the exception of one little place in the seat. It is nice. He had a seat cover on it. Carpet's in good shape. Dash panel is gone. Inside of the bed's full of junk now, but there's no rust holes in it. Just a little bit, very little bit of surface rust. And it's got the work bumper on the back, which we'll probably switch that out. It had bed rails on it. We took that off. It's a basic truck, no power windows, no power door locks, no air conditioning. And that is 164,926, and that is original miles. He didn't drive it a lot. But the guy that owned it, that bought it new, when he passed away, he gave it to his grandson, which is the son of my neighbor. And he really didn't want the truck. And so he was going to give it to my son. And I told him, well, that's a nice gesture, but I don't want you to give it to him. I want you to sell it to him. So he did. We come up with a very good price. And so he bought this truck from him about 2 years ago, I guess. And it sat a lot. It sat about 2 years before we bought it. And then it sat 2 years after we bought it. The hood was completely rusted. My son and I sanded that down. Raise the hood up, Andrew. The top needs sanding. It's got the 305 in it, and we finally run the rest of the little bit of gas that was in it out, and it's running better. I think it just had bad gas in it. It's got a little bit of oil leak on the valve covers. It's going to need just various little miscellaneous parts. The battery has 5 of 11 on it, and it was completely dead. I mean completely dead. And I set a charger on it for about 2 days, and it's seemingly holding a charge. We can start it without jumping it. If so, that's a Everlast battery. That's a pretty good battery then. It's going to need a lot of work. It's going to be a project truck. But this kid here at 13 will be driving in about 3 years, a little under. And I think it'll make him a good truck. What do you think of your truck, Andrew?
I love it.
All right. So we're going to lower it down. We're going to put, it's got two 235s on it now. We're going to go 255. And that tire went flat. We had to get a used one to move it around. And those tires are just shot. Like you can see, it's got the rust in it. The inner fenders, cab corners, rocker panels on both sides. And then a little bit in the bed. Right back there is the worst of the bed. It's got a little bit of bubbling up here. And then we'll have this thing ready to roll for him. As we do a little bit of work to it, I might post a few videos here and there just to let you see what we're doing to it. And I do have the other center cap and beauty ring to that other side. We just hadn't put them back on. All right, see you guys.